We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
No, it's 100% true.
There's no margin of error. It's established full 100%.
Yeah, you do not believe that there are stupid questions, or are you just going off of the saying of there are no stupid questions, only stupid answers?
No, I guess I'm more referring to the question I just asked you.
Okay,
like why should I assume your state of being?
I don't know. Well, yeah. So yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah. I mean, for all I know, you could have done a bunch of cocaine and been like just super wound up, crazy.
I never do cocaine on Sundays.
Gotcha. It's the Lord's Day.
Just because I don't want to have that like next day crash at work where you're just like coming off of the cocaine high the next day.
Is it a day? That's how it works. It's the next day. Depending on how much you take, probably.
In my experience.
In my volumes of volumes of cocaine, it's always the next day.
My vast knowledge of use of cocaine.
Yeah.
All of the 0 times I've taken it.
That's one of my main ingredients. Is cocaine sugar, I call it.
Right.
I add that to all my recipes.
Or you put a cane sugar and Coca-Cola into everything that you make.
No, I call cocaine sugar.
Oh.
So I just call it that. I call it cocaine sugar, kind of a play on cane sugar, just so I can I can say
just
that
so you can spike all of your dishes that you make.
Yeah, all my dishes, all my punches.
Yeah, whenever you're
for all the dances I attend, all the school dances I go to.
Oh, all the chaperoning you do.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a chaperone now. I thought maybe I was.
Yeah.
You're
just going to school dances.
Yeah, I love to be in that type of environment where I'm awkwardly at the other end of the room as all the females.
What do they call it when you? What is it called when you like go to a dance without a date? Is it like going
stag?
Going stag, yeah.
Stag, okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if there's another term for it, but I think that's the one you're thinking of, probably.
That is the one I was thinking of, and that's what was in my head. But for whatever reason, right now, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Because then I'm thinking of like a stag party, which is what they call like a bachelor party in Europe or in England, at least.
Well, you're not with a date,
a stag do and a hen do. But I'm just saying that's why it didn't sound right to me.
Sure,
I'll edit that out.
You're slowly, yeah. You're slowly
you uppercutting your mic out of the sound. You're
slowly forgetting American terms, and you're replacing it all with British vernacular.
Dude, British television is just so good. It's so good.
But that means you don't have to like take on their terminology.
I don't know. Some of their terminology is just so good. The way they word things sometimes is just like, it's so excellent. Yeah,
I'm sure, but now you're questioning well-known American terms because you're like, well, wait, there's a British term that I know that's the same, but it means something else. So it couldn't be what I thought it was because
it was confusing me.
Yeah,
in my state of being
alertness.
Exhausted. I lost all train of thought. Can you tell? Right?
What's the British term for what you're feeling right now? Is it slumbery?
Knackered? I think it's knackered.
Oh, great. You really have one.
Yeah.
You're we fought
I pulled it out of there.
We fought to be free from their rule, and you're just
their tyranny.
You're just jumping ship and swimming across the pond.
Across the pond.
Take on their cultures. Yeah.
Us people from the States, they say.
Yeah. It's not just like, I think anywhere else in the world just calls us the state, like calls this the States.
Probably.
We say,
I think they understand better than we do how ununited we actually are.
oh yeah. Yes.
We're united by the fact that they all kind of like share borders.
Yeah.
For the most part, minus the couple that don't.
Their outside perspective of us is quite clear and quite telling.
Yeah.
It's quite, I think we're blinded to a lot of things by choice because of how boastfully great we are compared to the rest of the world, self-proclaimed.
Greatest country in the world. Like, no, we're okay. We're an okay country. I mean, we're not the greatest.
It's looked down upon to talk about yourself and declare yourself the best at something or funny or smart or whatever. It's like you need someone else to say that about you for it to be real. But we declare our superiority. No one else is declaring our superiority. We're saying it about ourselves, and somehow that's okay. But when it's referring to the nation, but not referring to when we're talking about just ourselves and our own position, when we're in society.
Yeah, we suck like that.
Yeah, we do.
Anyways,
that's
hello and welcome to High School Famous.
I knew we were going to get there.
The podcast that answers the question, what are we going to eat today? I'm your one of your hosts, very sleepy Matt.
I'm, I guess, less sleepy Sean without doing some sort of study, a clinical study. But I would imagine the result would be you are more sleepy than I am.
I think that's a safe determination without doing any tests.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, we really didn't have to do this right now if you're up for it.
No, there was a multitude of reasons as to why I wanted to do this tonight. So for the record, I'm very tired because I think I got like 3, maybe 4 hours of sleep last night, and then I drove 6 hours from Minnesota back to Chicago today. So I'm a bit on the sleepy end of things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. But no, the reason I guess I wanted to do it tonight because I hate recording on Mondays because we release on Tuesday. So it just feels like there's pressure to get it all edited and put together in a shorter time span. And so not that it's hard because it takes me like 20 minutes to do it. So it's not like a huge deal. But if anything goes wrong, there's no time to try to correct it. Like if the recording goes bad, there's no time for us to re-record it or anything. And then the other reason is I'm like, it's July holidays episode. I don't, I can kind of phone it in a little bit. And I'm tired enough to the point where I might just be goofy. So we'll see what happens.
Gotcha. So I just want to summarize your position here. You don't want it to be hard, and you don't want any pressure to build up before release. Is that what I got out of all that?
Yeah, that's my. Oh wow, dude! You didn't turn your ringer off.
It doesn't matter if I turn my ringer off or not.
You didn't tell everybody you were busy. No, it's cool. To answer your question, yes. I don't know. Yep.
You're not gonna. There's not going to be a whole lot of yes-anding from you today, I can tell.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm 100% of what I have is here. 100% of my 40% is all yours.
Now, are you saying, okay, so 40% compared to what you normally bring, or 40% of like your 100% you? Like you are, like let's say you normally bring 60%. Yeah. Are you bringing 40% of that, or are you bringing 40%?
I think I'm bringing 40% of my total.
Okay, and you're totally 100%.
Yeah, I'm never saying I'm necessarily 100% here, but currently I'm 40% here, and you're getting 100% of that.
That's all I can ask for.
I mean, you didn't have to. I really kind of didn't even give you the chance to. ask for it. I offered it
Well,
immediately.
yeah, I mean, I suppose I can ask for as much as or as little as I want, but you're going to provide whatever you're going to provide,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I followed that.
Well, Matt, this calls for a celebration.
Does it?
Yeah.
What kind of celebration?
Well, plenty. I mean, there's a whole list. Some official, some unofficial. It's all across the board. It. Yeah.
I mean, the two spectrums of official or unofficial.
Well, that's one spectrum. It's just the two ends of that spectrum.
Well, yeah. Well, what's in between? What's in the middle of that?
None.
Yeah. There's either one or the other. It's either official or unofficial. You can't have partially official.
Well, okay, so but you're trying to say it's slightly you're trying official. To say that you're trying to say those limited options equal multiple spectrums. You're denying that it's even one spectrum. You're like they each have their own broad spectrum when they're even more finite alone.
I may have misspoke.
All right. So let's just
yeah, why not? Yeah. We've wasted 13 minutes already.
As you can, we filled them with valuable content, I would say. But you're just going to say yeah or no, and then not much else, I think.
I guess I was about to say how valuable, but I guess valuable is also a spectrum.
That's an actual spectrum.
Yeah. It's valuable. Yeah, its value might be real low, but it's still valuable.
Well, it's not something you can the amount of value is going to vary per person. To someone, it might be quite valuable. To anyone else, it could be, they would pay someone to not have it, having listened to it again. They would pay someone to get it off their listening history. Which
then becomes valuable to somebody else.
That's right.
In that sense, because now they're making money off of us. That doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
Does that lessen the value of it for us if somebody pays somebody else to get rid of it?
Well, we assign our own value. What they value it as does not affect how we value it for us. Right. So
that's kind of like when somebody, if by chance somebody gave you like a painting they did, they gave it to you. You've received that painting for free, and then somebody said, "I would like to buy that from you," and then you sold that to somebody. Do you feel that's immoral to do? Now you're profiting off of somebody else's art that was given to you for free when they could have sold the art.
They could have sold it to that person. Yeah. But if you
do you feel like you would owe money to the person who gave it to you?
I wouldn't necessarily think that I owe it to them, but I think it would be the right thing to do to either give all of the money to the artist or a portion of it, or even give them the option. Say, hey, I actually sold that painting you gave me. Do you want some of the sale price, some of the earnings? And they can say yes or no. They could say they don't do it for the money; they do it for the art. Man,
yeah, you won't be a very successful artist if you don't do it for the money
or the nookie.
Well, yeah.
But again, what is your measure?
What's your measure? Durst did it for?
What's your measure of success? Are you just talking about financial success or notoriety to becoming well known?
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose Banksy didn't really do it for money.
What's an artist care about?
Super famous.
What's important to an artist is probably different for any artist.
Yeah, I think there's a spectrum.
I think, possibly multiple spectrums. There's probably a spectrum of spectrums, which I'm calling a spectrum squared or perhaps a super spectrum.
Ooh. Gotta watch out getting caught in a super spectrum.
Yeah.
Especially,
don't get caught in the eye of the super spectrum.
Right.
Because you might think it's over, but there's just more coming up right behind it. Yeah. Yeah.
We have potentially wasted 4 more minutes of people's time.
We need a super spectrometer.
Oh, is that what a spectrometer is?
I don't know.
It gauges spectrums.
I said a spectrometer.
Oh.
But a spectrometer or spectrometer in Britain is probably something that measures that.
Is that really how they pronounce it?
I'm sure they do. A spectrometer, I'm sure. I can guarantee without ever hearing a British person say that word, they call it a spectrometer.
I thought you were going to be like, without ever hearing a British person.
Without ever, yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I saw something about Taskmaster getting picked up for a 14th series, so there'll be another
Of course,
one.
that show. Part of me is like, man, I never want this show to ever end, but there's going to be a point where it's just like, all right,
it's going to fall.
They're running out of ideas, or at least running out of like good contestants.
Yeah,
because it's gotten to the point now where I don't recognize like any of the contestants that have come on. Because like the first so many seasons, I know the first few seasons I knew who every contestant was on the first so many seasons, but then it started to get down to it's like, okay, I recognize like one or two people, and like this last season, I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, but it was good.
I can say that in the full run, I've recognized one person. I forget her name, but I believe she's Irish, dark hair. I know she's been in a few movies. So I don't remember I think she might have been on 7 or 8. No, not Ashling 7. That's
B.
I don't remember. Maybe
Ashling.
I'd have to see her.
Okay.
But I don't see her right now. I'm looking around.
Okay. She was the one whose mom was like a jockey.
I don't remember. I only watched each. I've only watched each episode once.
Okay, I'm not sure if you heard me or not because it kind of cutting out again. But the girl whose mom was a jockey, and her mom had to took a bunch of photographs with a pineapple. Yeah, her mom was an actual jockey.
I don't remember. See, I've only watched each episode once.
Stuff that happened on the show. Okay,
I've only watched each episode once, so I don't remember a lot of details.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, in the spectrum of details, it
would have been like it was the season where they had to like write a song about a woman and then sing it to her.
Oh, I think that was
okay.
She was on.
So
that
one. It's gonna be Ashling B then.
She was in a group of 3. Because wasn't it like 2 guys and then 3 women were in a group together?
No, it was the 2 guys and then the 2 women and Bob Mortimer.
Oh.
And they were saying talking about how their song had something to do with I can't remember the lady's name, but I think it was like Rosalind, and they were saying like Rosalind is a fucking nightmare. Was one of the lyrics to their song.
How many times would you say you've watched? So have you watched a lot of episodes more than once?
I've watched through like up until like I think it was up until when like the 8th or 9th season had come out. I had watched all of them through twice up to that point. And then I tool around on YouTube, and like clips of stuff of Taskmaster stuff pops up all the time, and I sometimes rewatch like best bits or like the best prize category stuff sometimes comes up, or like I think it was like one where like when contestants chose violence or whatever, so it was just ones where they got super pissed off about like a certain task or something.
Sure.
Stuff like that. Things pop up. Anywho, I think we've wasted now another 5 minutes of people's time. Potentially.
Well, I mean,
do we want to do some July holidays?
Is the holiday portion the waste of time? Is the normal?
We're potentially. Yeah. It could be.
Yeah.
Let's check in on the check in on the live stream and see what they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. It has negative viewers.
Oh, we owe the live stream viewers.
We owe viewers. Yeah.
We somehow owe viewers. Anyways, whether or not the listeners are interested in July holidays, Sean, I am at least interested in some July holidays. At least another 37 minutes worth of July holidays.
And I'm looking at, it looks like, because these comments we're getting on the live stream don't make any sense. Mm-hmm. So what I can tell is that the host site of the live stream is just pulling comments from other live streams to feed to us because it senses that it feels bad.
I was going to say, are you sure you're watching our live stream and maybe not just watching a different live stream and reading their comments?
Look, I'm just because I have
That's
the
a fun
World
idea.
Series of Poker tab open doesn't mean I'm watching it and scrolling through their comments and typing my own comments and paying more attention to that and what's going on with us.
Fun idea that could be. We could do an episode where we're watching somebody else's live stream and reacting to their comments in our man, that would be good. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Hey, let's get into some July holidays, Matt.
Oh, cool. What a surprise.
When you think of the month of July, what do you think of, Matthew?
I think of my dad's birthday.
Okay, hold on. That was not,
it's not on
the list.
No, it's not on the list.
I thought you were going to work on that.
I've been real busy, so just haven't had the time.
Yeah, I'm never going to take you seriously when you say that.
What, that I've been real busy or that I haven't had the time?
Both. And I mean, they go together. You wouldn't have
Not
the time
necessarily.
because you were real busy.
No, not necessarily always synonymous with each other.
So if you can be,
because I can be really busy and still have the time.
Okay, yeah.
Why not?
But
called multitasking, Sean. Try it sometime.
Okay, so then why hasn't this happened? Why is your dad's birthday not on the July holiday list?
I've been really busy. I've been very busy and I haven't had the time.
So
this time in particular, it's been synonymous, but not always.
Okay. Sometimes you're very busy and have the time, but not this time.
And sometimes I'm not busy and don't have the time.
For what? You don't have the time to be busy?
It depends on the situation, on what I don't have time for.
Or you don't want to, you're not going to willingly use the time you have for.
Well, like sometimes somebody will ask me, "Hey, do you know the time?" And I won't. So therefore I don't have the time.
Oh, so you're just saying you don't know what time it is.
I mean, that's one example.
That's what you mean by you don't have the time to do something because you don't know what time it is.
That's just one example of not having the time.
Okay. But if you
There's
don't
many
have
others that I can't get into right now because I'm too busy doing this.
You don't have the time. Yeah.
I don't have the time to get into that right now.
Gotcha.
Anyways, July 4th, Sean, was that what you were asking me? 4th of July, was that what you're trying to get out of me? Was it Independence Day?
No.
Starring Will Smith?
I was just going to say it's time to July screams celebration of all sorts.
Well, it does. I'm assuming, and I think we're about to get into that eventually. At some point in this episode, we're going to mention at least one holiday.
All right, let's just jump into it then. Friday, July 1st. We got two. Oh, look, I've got 3 holidays listed for the 1st of July. And the first of the 3 on the 1st, it's International Joke Day.
Ooh. So does that mean you can only tell jokes internationally, or you can only tell jokes that are from a different country than the one you live in?
I think
you can only tell international jokes.
I think it means you need to tell an international joke. I don't think they would expect everyone to travel to another country to tell a joke. So I think that it's more feasible to expect that everyone would learn a joke from another country and tell it to someone in their own country.
I think it's just going to end up being a lot of like Irishmen walked into a bar kind of jokes then. Because those are like the easiest, right?
But what if you're in Ireland?
International. Well, if you're in Ireland, then you got to do a different one. But everywhere else in the world is just going to do an Irishman walked into a bar.
See, I wouldn't have done that.
Or something. Oh, what about, here's the joke. An Irishman walks out of a bar. It's an anti-joke.
Yes, because it was not funny.
Yeah, no, the point of an anti-joke is that you're expecting a punchline that you don't get. I think like there was one where it was like
it's almost like
totally going off the rails immediately.
It's almost like the setup is the punchline in that case.
Yeah, because there was another one that was like a horse walks into a bar and a bunch of the patrons get up and leave because they know that something bad's about to happen, or something like chaos is about to ensue because this horse shouldn't be in here. It's going to ruin everything.
Gotcha.
But
so
yeah.
it's almost funny because there is what you think is going to be a punchline ends up being not a punchline at all, and then since that subverted expectation, it becomes funny.
Like, all right, yeah. So here's a better example because I butchered the fucking horse walking into the bar one. So here we go. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Brian.
Brian who?
Brian immediately starts to cry, realizing that his grandma's Alzheimer's has progressed very quickly. There you go. It's an anti-joke.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, so International Joke Day. Work on that. You have until the 1st.
Yeah, do better than I just did.
So far, you've just been telling American jokes, so you're not even trying.
I mean, those aren't necessarily just American jokes. Those could be anywhere.
They're not bound to a particular region. Are you allowed to say what then? Or do you have to say a joke that is specifically from a region other than where you live?
Yeah, I guess those ones kind of don't fall anywhere then.
Like we could tell a joke about some sort of parliament, that could cover Australia. I think has parliament, and maybe even just Canada have a parliament.
Maybe, yeah.
And Britain,
England
of course,
definitely does. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Parliament,
like exclusively.
They're parliamental over there.
Oh, yep. Jot that down.
Anywho, it's also National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day. So move over chocolate, move over vanilla. We're only talking about creative ice cream flavors.
And so does that mean because there's already so many? Like, do you have to create a new one then? Because if you just say Moose Tracks, be like, well, that's not very creative. That's been out for a long time.
You know what? Here's what it really is. I'm thinking of it the wrong way here. It's not about flavors of ice cream that are atypical.
Okay.
These are ice cream. It could be any flavor, but the flavor of ice cream is creative. Like this scoop of chocolate ice cream over here wrote a sonnet at age 10.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an old ice cream. Don't eat that.
Well, they're not. They kind of
very freezer burnt.
When you have ice cream at that level, it's protected by the government, kind of like it's like the endangered species list in a way.
Right.
You're not allowed to shoot the ice cream for sport. But like this other scoop of ice cream over here has 6 books that have been published.
Okay. I follow.
Great. I'll move on to the next holiday. Oh my God. It's also Fisherman's Holiday.
Oh,
I guess I didn't realize that's Marshall Islands. So good for them. Saturday, July 2nd, it's I Forgot Day.
Oh, I'm not going to remember to celebrate that.
Yeah. Also Hop a Park Day. You hop a park.
That seems impossible.
To hop
when I think of a hop,
park.
when I think of a hop, I think, it's just a hop is like a short jump.
Well, so
how small is this park?
It's an ice cream. It's a creative ice cream flavors park.
Okay. But you have to try to hop it.
Does
that mean you're hopping? You have to hop throughout. You have to hop throughout that park, like park. You're hopping in the park the entire time, or do you have to hop over the park? I
would say over, and it's contained within a bowl or a cone. So it's not difficult for someone like you or me to hop over.
Right. Well,
to
speak
hop
for
under,
yourself.
Though, to hop under is another achievement.
Yeah. Unless it's on some sort of a pedestal or you're in some sort of a underground tunnel.
Pedestal or urine? So if it's on top of a pedestal or urine, you're saying?
Is that what you heard? Because
I heard what you said after the word urine, but I decided to remove that and jokingly make it seem as though I mistook You
decided to remove everything but the urine. Yeah. Interesting choice, Sean.
That's how I like my ice cream. I wanted to have urine in it, and then I want everything else removed, so all that remains is urine. There's not even any ice cream.
Even the ice cream.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah. I don't know why.
Can I get a scoop of vanilla topped with urine and then have the vanilla removed, please?
Yeah. Just hop that vanilla under that urine.
Yeah.
Get it out of there.
Just put the whole thing in a colander and then just give me the, the excreta, as it were.
The secreta?
The excreta.
Oh, the excreta. I know.
Yeah.
I when I read this holiday, I first thought of like bar hopping, where you just go from one to the other, and you go to a few. So maybe now it says hop a park day. So that to me says just maybe going from one park to another park, or if it's singular. If you go to one bar and then leave, you didn't hop a bar, right? You didn't like go bar hopping. You just went to one bar.
Yeah.
So is trying to look at it from that angle. I don't know what hop a park would be, because you wouldn't necessarily then go from one park to another park, because that obviously suggests that there's more than a single park involved.
Right.
Let's move on. Sunday, July 3rd, National Eat Your Beans Day.
Depending on the type of beans, I could be for that.
What beans are you not a fan of?
All of them except for baked.
You don't like boiled beans?
No, I don't like lima, pinto, any of that garbage.
Oh yeah, I remember. I used to have to eat the occasional lima beans when I was young. So what about chili with chili beans and kidney beans and stuff?
I don't eat chili.
You don't eat chili?
Yeah, I don't like chili.
Interesting.
How un-American.
Is that an American dish? Did that originate here?
Probably. It's just a big pile of like meat and flavors. So it sounds American to me.
I'm not sure. Maybe you haven't actually been served chili before, because chili, I've never had it come in a pile. Usually it's contained within a basin of some kind.
Well, I mean,
is that how your family served food, in piles?
It's a big slop. It's just a slop of, I don't know.
Okay, do you like sloppy joes?
Love sloppy joes.
Okay,
but that's
meat
contained
and a bunch of flavor
on a bun.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. So
it has a vessel of containment, which I know you're gonna be like, but a bowl, but I don't eat a bowl.
Okay, so you have to be able to eat the container in order to enjoy your food.
Not always, but in the case of something sloppy.
So what about a chili dog? Would you eat a chili dog?
No, because I don't eat chili.
But if it was in a container that is edible, maybe
but I don't eat chili.
Huh?
Yeah, but I don't eat chili.
Gotcha.
But
all right,
if you were to put sloppy Joe mix, like a sloppy Joe on a hot dog in a bun, I might be down for that. A sloppy Joe dog.
Well, because sloppy Joe
that sounds kind of good, actually.
It already goes with a bun, so you're not.
Yeah, but adding a hot dog to it,
it's just another form of quote unquote meat. That's
but chili has hamburger in it.
Yeah, I know.
You're putting that on a hot dog.
I eat chili, so I know what's in chili.
Yeah. So what's your point of saying it's just another form of meat? Putting sloppy Joe on a hot dog is essentially the same as putting chili on a hot dog.
But
it's
here's
just a different flavor profile.
You don't eat chili with any type of bun traditionally.
Okay.
You already have sloppy Joe with a bun, so you're just changing the shape of the bun that you're putting the sloppy Joe in. So it's not like
adding a hot dog.
This is brave new territory.
Adding a hot dog.
So is it different to make a regular hamburger bun of sloppy Joe material and slap a hot dog in there?
Yeah, because you have a lot of hot dogs sticking out.
Well, you cut the hot dog in half and set the two halves next to each other.
Then that's fine as well. You can do that, sure. If that's what you want to get to, if that's the argument we're having, sure.
No.
You can do that too. You can put a hot dog cut in half onto a hamburger bun, and it is, yes, a viable fucking vessel for consumption.
Here's the thing. If you took...
These are fucking sentences I've never said before. A viable vessel of consumption.
If you took if you took a hot dog and you ground it up and you put it in the mixture of sloppy Joe, would you even be able to taste
instead of hamburger?
Would you even be able to taste? No. You just add it you make sloppy Joe and you just grind up hot dog and just stir it right in with the rest of it.
Okay.
Do you even taste like? Is there a difference in how it tastes at all?
Is this a separate conversation now?
No.
So what's your fucking point? Because that's not how you eat a goddamn chili dog.
No,
Are you going to do that with a chili dog?
Okay, Matt.
That's why I said, is this a separate conversation? Because we were talking about chili dogs versus a sloppy Joe hot dog. And now you're telling me to chop up a hot dog and put it into my sloppy Joe.
You're trying to say...
is this a separate conversation?
No, you're trying to say that adding sloppy Joe to a hot dog is crazy.
No, I said it's different. I said it's different because I don't think it's something people typically would do.
But you're saying it's equal to having a chili dog when
I'm
you
saying
don't
it's
eat
essentially
chili.
I say it's essentially the same thing as far as a meat sauce type thing on a hot dog. It's going to have a different flavor profile, 100%. It's not a 1-for-1, but it is essentially a similar product.
So there's a lot more things in chili besides just the meat and like the sauce.
I understand that. I'm not saying they are a 1-for-1. I'm saying it's essentially a similar product. It is a meat sauce, essentially, on a hot dog.
Gotcha.
Can you fucking agree with me on that? It's essentially a
but
similar product.
They're so similar, but you still won't eat one over the other. They're the same.
It's a different flavor profile. I don't like the taste of chili.
Gotcha.
That's why I don't eat chili.
All chilies. Every chili you've
any chili I've had, I'm just like, I don't care for it. It doesn't gross me out. I just don't care for it. I don't care for chili. It's not something I enjoy.
What if I spiced it up a little bit? And
it's already spiced up. It has spices in it.
But what are you
going to chop up a hot dog?
No. Just pour in some Dr. Pepper in there, stir it around, make that part of the saucy part.
Yeah, and then you can toss that in the trash because no one will eat that because that is going to be it's the thickness consistency is going to be way off for one, and two, it's going to have a soda in it. Doesn't matter if it was a soda I enjoyed, that would be a bad.
The thickness, you're replacing one liquid with another. You always pour in
so that's
water.
going to be even worse because then the flavor is going to be way off.
Well, that's what you're doing. You're changing the flavor by adding a different unusual ingredient. That's what that's the whole point.
I'm going to go on record and say, I think adding any soda flavor at all to chili instead of the water that you're going to put into it is going to be awful.
Okay.
And nobody's going to like the flavor of it.
What if it's carbonated water?
I can't imagine that would be good. And I also don't like carbonated water. So
my God. You're also on record now then of saying that you fully support blatant and flagrant food waste.
Blatant food waste, yes.
So you suggested I just take
I think flagrant food waste should be on everyone's radar if you're flagrantly wasting food. But deliberate food waste, I don't care for. Like watching shows and stuff that like do stuff and waste like food fights and in movies and shit. But that's probably usually fake food. But there's lots of stuff where they just like watching things where they just waste food, and I'm just kind of like that's. I don't typically like that stuff. I don't typically like wasting food. I think it's a bad move.
But you just suggested that we take the chili I made with Dr. Pepper in it and just dump it directly into the trash without an ounce of it being consumed by anybody.
Yeah. Oh, you can try to consume it, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think the best move is after you've made that because you've already wasted it. So that's not me wasting it. You wasted it by ruining it by putting soda in it. I am assuming, and I can imagine most people would assume that chili is unedible at this point already now because you've ruined it by using soda instead of water.
Well, we'll see. Did you ever
you're not going to do it.
Did you ever go to like Camp Courage?
No.
Did you ever in grade school?
Courage camp?
Well, in grade school, did you ever go to some kind of camp for like 4 days or something?
Yeah,
during the
we went up to Environmental Learning Center up in Duluth.
So maybe they did this there too, but at Camp Courage, they didn't want you to waste food and throw food away.
Right.
So they would they'd weigh all the food that people threw away, and you try to get
Oh, really?
a low number. There was a day that part of the meal they served was like tapioca pudding or something, and we totally failed the food waste weight goal that day. Nobody ate any of it.
Nobody ate. Kids don't eat tapioca pudding. I
want to say this was like fourth or fifth grade.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Kids definitely don't eat tapioca pudding. I've never met somebody that has ever said, I enjoy tapioca pudding. But also that would be really random for somebody to just randomly say to me, because I never asked that question either. But
yeah,
I don't know of anybody personally that enjoys tapioca pudding.
Like, I've never been to someone's place and they're like, we're going to have a meal. And it's like, oh, I made some fresh tapioca pudding. It's to my knowledge,
for one, I don't think fresh tapioca pudding exists.
Well, to my knowledge, I think the last time I was ever served tapioca pudding was at Camp Courage, and
yeah,
that was yeah. I don't know. I think they probably still do it if it's still around. But
if Camp Courage is still around, or if tapioca pudding is still around,
Camp Courage. Tapioca pudding is one of those things. It's like candy corn. It's just never going to go away. But I don't know anyone that really enjoys it.
I will eat candy corn every once in a while, not every once in a while, around Halloween. If there's a bowl of candy corn, I'll eat a few of them just because it's like, oh yeah, that's what it tastes like again. Okay, I remember. It's like, it's not awful, but it's just,
you don't want a lot. I
don't know. It's just boring. It's more boring than anything.
It is pretty boring.
Yeah. And it's a weird consistency. It's so it's kind of like chalky.
Lewis Black has that joke about candy corn where, okay. I won't say it.
We had mentioned it once on here before.
Okay, never mind. Go back and listen to that. I guess I can't tell you what episode that was on, but anyway, Beans Day. Okay, we're done with that. It's also
fuck.
Yeah, this was jumping off of Eat Your Beans Day.
Yep.
Sunday, July 3rd is also National Chocolate Wafer. Oh, you know what? This is less funny. I was somewhere yesterday, and in a little bit of downtime, I was compiling this list on my phone, and so it was much smaller text. I thought it said National Chocolate Water Day, and I'm like, chocolate water? What's that about? And now I'm reading it, and it's wafer. So
yeah,
womp womp. Okay, next one.
Like, I thought it was just water spelled with 2 T's.
What?
Because wafer has 2 T's in it, or 2 F's in it. So how would you think it said water with
there's
2
only
T's?
There's only one F in wafer.
Is there?
I'm looking at it. WAFER. I thought the F was a T.
I always thought it was FF.
That's a wafer. Is it pronounced waffle? Do you have breakfast waffles?
Where'd the L come from? Get out of here with the L.
I'm comparing your version of the word wafer with 2 F's to the word
in my
waffle.
Head. Sorry if in my head just now I was picturing the word wafer with 2 F's. Oh my God. I'm notoriously horrible at spelling.
Right. So you're looking at me like, well, how could you mistake the word wafer for water, you idiot? There's 2 F's. Like you're basing your horrible spelling of the word wafer on the likelihood that I'm going to mistake the word wafer for the word water. Right? You're putting
I wanted
judgment on
to make you look bad. Yeah. I was hoping you would look fucking stupid, and it backfired.
I already did by realizing it's the word wafer instead of water, and it should have never been. I already made myself look stupid.
Yeah. I was trying to double down on your fucking idiocy.
Yeah, and you failed because it made you look even dumber than I did.
So now we both look dumb, and that's par for course.
But where are each of us on the dumbness spectrum? I think I'm sitting in a little better position than you are right now.
I mean, I think that's typical for every recording. I typically look stupider than anyone. All right.
Well, Matt, ever. what do you say to a two-parter, a two-parter holiday episode?
We went off the fucking rails. I mean, we can keep going.
Let's do it. July 4th. I mean, that's the obvious one. Let's just move on from sidewalk egg frying day and go on to July 6th, which is World Kissing Day.
Oh, kiss the world.
Yep, kiss the world. Unofficial relationships and family. So July 7th, National Father-Daughter Take a Walk Day.
Like, get out of here. Take a walk.
What?
This is like, get out of here. Take a walk. Like, go. Take a walk, kid.
Are you comparing?
It's old-timey.
Well, are you comparing take a hike? Are you associating take a hike with take a walk as the same kind of thing?
I believe you can say either.
Okay, I've never heard take a walk in that way.
I mean, it's for people who, maybe somebody
it's a British thing,
physically fit enough to take a hike. No, maybe somebody's not physically fit enough to actually take a hike. So you just tell them to take a walk.
I mean, isn't hiking just... Don't most people that say they go hiking means they just go walking outside?
They just go walking outside, yeah.
I think that's what
literally
most
just
people...
outdoor walking.
Yeah, when most people say they're hiking, they go for hikes. They just... I mean,
it's just wilderness walking.
Well, I could say
we
that
should just start calling it that.
Wilderness walking? Yeah.
Wilderness walking.
Take a wilderness walk. Like I could consider, like, whenever I go play disc golf, I could consider that hiking in addition to playing disc golf. Like, I'm out in the park and there's elevation changes and, there's trees around and whatnot. Hey, another holiday on July 7th, Tell the Truth Day.
Oh.
Oddly enough, also unofficial relationships and family.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Weird.
And I straight up copy pasted.
That's odd. So just only tell the truth to,
anyone you have a relationship
your significant other, or
be it someone you're related to by blood, or a friend, or a significant other.
Interesting.
Yeah. Friday, July 8th, everyone gather around your television screens and with your consoles. It's Video Games Day.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be celebrating that without even knowing it.
I know.
All those, gamers, as they're called.
Yes, the Gommers. Try not to leave Earth on Monday, July 11th, Matt. Do your best to stay on this planet.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, it is World Population Day. So populate the world on July 11th. So
is that how we're taking it? That we need to populate the world that day?
Well, when you say populate the world, are you meaning like add more people to the world?
Yeah. Is it that, or is it just like, are we taking account?
I would say it's more like taking account. It's like a census thing.
Yeah.
Because
otherwise that puts a lot of pressure on, any pregnant women.
Yeah. And we already have...
We need to populate the world that day.
We already have we already have it scheduled. The birth is scheduled already.
Right.
To celebrate that, whatever that other, I think one of the June holidays was about, where I don't remember what we talked about, but it was about predetermining a day to give birth, and because they had to go back to work or something.
Totally.
I forget what
I totally remember that.
Sure you do.
Yeah.
You're not following.
But yeah, because I don't foresee that as because I don't foresee World Population Day, like, that can't have anything to do with like, hey, go out there and have a bunch of sex to populate the Earth. It's like, well, then you're not populating the Earth on that day. You're just getting people pregnant on that day. The population doesn't change,
but it will change
the birth eventually, but not on World Population Day.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, unless it was called World Copulation Day, in which case.
Now, this is where it's one of those gray areas. There's lots of debate about this, but there's the argument of, when does life begin? There was a big old deal with that right now, with something that just got changed. So on the day of conception, is that technically, populating the Earth?
Not as far as the census is concerned.
That's true. But but now we're saying that both things are what the holiday is about. It's about populating the Earth and taking a census of the current population. So it wouldn't matter, because they're not really It's not both things. But if we're saying it's one or the other,
I'm just saying. Well, you're saying when does life begin? And I was saying, well, being pregnant doesn't mean shit for the population. The population, you're not counting that woman as two people in a census. If you were doing a census, so therefore the baby inside you isn't considered a person yet until they're born. Isn't considered a countable part of the population until they are born.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it also can't be considered as populating the earth. That's correct. Is what you're saying.
Yes. So I'm saying it can only count as a part of the population once they are born.
So basically, until the baby's born, it's according to you, it's not a person. And you could do something. It doesn't matter what I think. At any time.
It technically doesn't matter what I think.
Anytime up
matters what the couple or person who's pregnant thinks, and they get to make that choice on whether they feel that is a living person or not.
Very good. Let's move on.
That's just my weird way of going on the record saying I'm pro-choice.
Yeah.
And this whole bullshit that happened recently is really fucked up.
It was, not to just be so topical and whatever, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm surprised.
I thought there was no way in hell that it would ever get overturned. I was just like, in my head, I'm just like, that's crazy that they're even doing that. What a waste of time. It's so stupid. And then it all happened. And I was just like, how? And I don't know. It's shitty and dumb. And so best of luck to anybody who has to fucking deal with that shit in a fucked up, shitty state that happened in. All that shit got turned, all the states that immediately are like, well, it's gone now.
Yeah.
So please move out of those states and come to a state that gives a shit about your rights. Minnesota and Illinois are both very pro-choice states. So come populate with us. Come over here and populate with us. By that, I mean, come move to our states and bring yourself as the population to our states. Because clearly, if you choose that you need to have an abortion, you're not going to be populating our states. In that sense.
Okay. I thought you were trying to
come move to our state and
I thought you were
the population of you.
I thought you were essentially like delivering the equivalent of, "Hey, do you want to get out of here? You want to go somewhere quiet?
Want to go for a walk?
Yeah, want to go for a hike?
Hey.
Yeah. Anywho, yes. Well, that was our hot button minutes on High School Famous.
Yeah, we did the British minute earlier.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we kind of covered that. Yeah, you force feed us that garbage every chance you get. July 11th. It's also National Cheer Up the Lonely Day. So if you know someone lonely, but if someone's lonely, do they have someone to cheer them up?
Yeah. How do you determine that somebody's lonely because you probably don't know them?
You wouldn't be able to be around them. You don't know who else might be around them or not. You're just assuming that someone's like, do you ask them first? Hey, are you lonely?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
On National Cheer Up the Lonely Day, like,
and then assume that they need to be cheered up.
Yeah, like they're not okay with it.
Yeah, I could be lonely but also still happy. Like,
yeah.
What if somebody's happy that they're lonely?
Yeah, hermits.
Yeah,
like basically, introverted people they don't like being around a lot of people. So
yeah.
Don't project your insecurities on the lonely holiday.
Mm-hmm.
God. It's also All American Pet Photo Day.
It's really messed up, man. So
take a picture of your All American pet on Monday, July 11th.
Yeah, I mean, those two could you can put those two together, is show a lonely person photos of your pet. And that might cheer them up.
It might be really into pet photos. Might not want you to be around them. Like, don't come over to talk to me and show me photos for your pet. Like, that would mean that the lonely person that might enjoy being lonely has to now interact with another person.
Yeah.
Look, I think what's really important to say, what's important to say is if you're going to try to cheer up a lonely person, make sure you have consent.
Always. Yeah. Consent is very important in any interaction.
Quite.
You should always ask somebody, should always ask somebody if it's okay to talk to them, which is difficult to do because you have to ask them that. So you're technically already talking to them.
It's like, oh, can I ask you a question?
So maybe
you just did.
Yeah. Maybe you just hold up a sign that says, "Is it okay if I talk? If I speak with you?" Then it's their choice if they want to read the sign. So you're not really doing anything wrong there, unless they're blind, and then you just get pissed off because they're like, "Why won't they acknowledge my sign?"
Yeah, that's my first reaction to a blind person not noticing a sign I'm holding up. Is I get angry.
Well, no, if I don't know they're blind, and I'm holding up a sign, and they're just like. To me, they're just ignoring my sign. How rude!
They didn't even give you a chance to ask if they're blind or not, because they didn't answer your sign question.
Very insensitive. Yeah, and it's really important to me that people tell me when they're blind.
Sure, I mean that should be their information to divulge if they so choose or not. They might not want to. I think have it out there that they're blind.
Well. I mean, if it was up to me, all blind people would wear a shirt that said, "I am blind" on it at all times. I think we should mark them all in society.
Gotcha. Round them up, maybe? Put them to work? Is that what you're getting at? Remove their fillings?
I mean, put work in quotes. It's only so much they can do.
Oh, dude.
I think it's important. I think it's important for people to know that we're joking, obviously.
Especially the blind.
Blind. Yeah, if there's any blind people listening to this right now, good for you. Good job.
Good job. At what?
I don't know. I just wanted something to sound offensive again.
Gotcha.
Good for you. Good for you listening to stuff.
You found just a
getting
podcast.
Out there and listening to things. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm not sure what this one is, but it's also Orange Men's Holiday.
Oh.
Like Orange Men.
Orange Men?
Like one word. Or ORANGEMEN. Apostrophe
maybe it's a
S.
surname and it's a specific person.
Oh, like the Orange Men. Oh, we're having dinner at the Orange Men's.
Yeah, it's Jerry Orangeman.
Yeah. He just got promoted.
Yeah. He's going to be Redmond now.
So you get promoted and to a new
change your
surname?
I don't know. I was thinking of the color spectrum.
Oh, the color spectrum, of course. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Red is the top.
Red's the top of the color spectrum?
Yeah, look at a fucking rainbow, bro. Red's on top.
Now that's of the visible light spectrum. Obviously there's infrared.
Yeah. That's the only one we can go with.
Which is infrared would be above red.
Yeah,
ultraviolet would be below violet.
We can't see that.
Yeah, but the only colors that are important to you are the ones that you can see. Way to offend the blind people.
They don't give a fuck about. We can say red all day long, and they have no idea what we're talking about. They have no reference.
So
unless they became blind later in life.
When a blind person says that they're angry, can they say that they saw red?
No, I'm sure they would never do that.
Or if they're making some money, they're ahead. They're in the earnings. They're in the black.
I mean, they can say that because that's just a term.
Well, all things are terms.
Some things are also conditions,
and those are the terms by which I live my life.
Yeah,
some things are also
all things are terms.
Yeah, there's also very good. Yep. Okay,
yay! Ooh, see, I'm firing on all
the
cylinders that are running. I'm firing on all those. Just
40% of your cylinders are running on all cylinders.
Yep.
Okay. Where are we? Okay. Orangeman's Day. Great. Moving on. The 12th of July.
Oh no.
National different
halfway through.
Well, I mean, this is to assume we're halfway. Yeah, we're not halfway through the month as a whole, but I could have much less.
Yeah.
A smaller number of holidays selected from this latter half of the month than I did the first half. So we might be in the course of the whole list, we might be more than halfway.
You say you might. Do you?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's National Different Colored Eyes Day.
Oh, what's that called again? There's a term for that's like hecto something or I don't remember. It starts with an H. And I can't remember what it's called when you have two different colored eyes.
Do you think that would be the name of the holiday then? Like National Hecto, whatever
Well,
Pies
apparently
Day?
it's not. Now I'm gonna have to fucking Google it.
No, you don't. Hey, it's also Eat Your Jello Day.
I'm going to.
Yum! Eat your Jello.
See, now if they would have served that instead of the fucking tapioca pudding.
I know the scale would have read a negative number. Like a number that's in
heterochromia.
So anyways. Homochromia would be like the common scenario, right?
It's where your eyes are just super into each other.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm cross-eyed?
Anyway. Sorry, it's Pride Month. It's a dumb joke. I don't know.
Goodness. Embrace Your Geekness Day, July 13th. I thought it would be.
Do it every day.
I thought it would be geekiness, not geekness. Don't you think geekiness sounds more official?
I mean, it's pretty geeky of you to fucking correct it.
It is true. So these next two holidays on the 14th could be used in tandem with each other.
Okay.
It's National Nude Day. Yep. And for the men, this is for everybody, but this is where it might come into play. It's National Tape Measure Day. So, you could jointly celebrate both of those holidays by,
I mean, let's be honest. No man has ever needed to whip out a tape measure to measure himself.
A simple ruler will do, is what you're saying?
A simple ruler will suffice.
Legend has it.
I mean, that's
sure you
it.
do.
That's the end of that sentence.
Yeah. What?
Oh, did I miss something there?
I don't know. You started to
All
say
I heard
something.
was legend has it, and then you stopped talking.
Well, I stopped because you said, well, I mean, and then you stopped. So we both stopped waiting for each other to go on. And we both thought the other person was going to keep talking. Boy, was it a magical moment. Anyway, Friday, July 15th, we have Gummy Worm Day and we have National I Love Horses Day. So maybe this is specific to the creator of the holiday. They're just declaring on that day that one person loves horses, or everyone just, regardless of your actual feelings toward horses, you have to declare that you love horses, even though you might hate horses. A horse killed your mother, but you have to say that you love horses on July 15th.
Yeah.
So, at some other point in the year,
it's a day of forgiveness.
Sure. Horse forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So we take care of regular fire safety, and it must be at another part of the year, but July 15th, it's National Pet Fire Safety Day. So we need to get our pets up to speed on the plan.
That or you're learning the safety in a situation of a pet fire.
You're learning how to safely
whenever there's
on fire.
No, not safely set your pet on fire, but things. Certain fires have specific names. Like this is a house fire. This is a grease fire, and this is a pet fire. Gotcha.
So you're learning what to do if your pet happens to catch on fire.
In case of a pet fire.
Right. So that kind of is exactly what I said, where it's learning how to safely set your pet on fire.
No, this is not your setting. How often do you learn how to safely set a house on fire? Do you learn how to safely set things on fire?
No, because
firemen learn how to safely set houses on fire because they have to do they have to do training and stuff, and sometimes when they're going to demolish a house, they'll actually set it on fire so the firemen can come learn to put it out. So maybe that's actually a real thing. But do you ever?
I'm sure it's just like a flight simulator. They do it in a simulation first.
Oh, a simulated pet fire?
Yeah, a simulated pet fire.
Okay. That sounds horrific.
July 16th, Matt. Toss away the could haves and should haves day. Toss those away. The could haves and the should haves.
What a dumb, long title for a holiday.
And that's basically saying,
so you just
don't regret the things you didn't do, or don't worry about the things that you were like you should have done but didn't. Like
or go out and do them. Is that what it is? It's like I think it's more so like toss them away. Like go and no could'ves and should'ves. It's just do's and fucking yeah. I don't know. Go do the things that you wouldn't do.
So you think to toss something away is to go after it? Or, toss away to me says like forget about it. But I see your angle. I see your angle. It's like get rid of those things by doing them. Like turn them from could haves and should haves to dids.
Yeah, I think that's what it's in my vast knowledge of this holiday. That's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, I mean the vastness. It's a spectrum. So I'm not sure where
it's like that saying. Yeah,
it's like that saying.
I don't know. It's like the saying. It's better to regret the things you've done than the things you haven't done. You know what I mean?
Yes. You miss every shot you don't take. So shoot your shot.
Which isn't true because if you didn't take the shot, you didn't miss it either. You also can't miss a shot you don't take because that doesn't make sense logically.
Correct. July 17th.
Anyways, 17th?
Yeah. It's Wrong Way Corrigan Day.
What?
Wrong Way Corrigan Day.
Wrong Way Corrigan Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually looked at what this was. And it's actually kind of interesting what it actually is. Because I was like, what? First I just looked up the word Corrigan to see what that might what is Corrigan? And it's like a city in Texas.
It's like the water company.
Culligan is the water company.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
And I did not just look stupid.
They don't make wafers either, so they just do water. Don't get
corrugated water.
Corrugated water. Corrugated water. It's like cardboard. You are all over it right now. Anyway, so Wrong Way Corrigan Day.
Some cylinders.
Yeah, Wrong Way Corrigan Day. There was a guy, I forget his first name, but his last name was Corrigan, and he wanted to fly the same flight that Charles Lindbergh did across the Atlantic Ocean, right?
Okay.
But he wanted to do it in a plane that he like pulled out of a trash heap and like repaired. First, I don't know why this was a specific desire of his.
Always a good idea.
But he was told he couldn't do it. And he was basically told he could fly west from the west coast of the United States from the east coast to the west coast of the United States. So he was always overland. But he took off and he decided to just turn around and fly over the Atlantic Ocean anyway, even though he was told he couldn't do that. And he made it. So that's what Wrong Way Corrigan Day means. He went the wrong way and survived.
Interesting.
And even though there's a city in Texas called Corrigan, this man was from Texas, but he was not from Corrigan, Texas. He was from Galveston. Yes. So we're on July 18th now. It's National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. And another weird one, Insurance Nerd Day.
Okay.
An insurance nerd. We celebrate the insurance nerds. I don't know what that means. I've never heard the term insurance nerd before. I wonder if this is anything like rules lawyer.
Possibly. Got insurance nerds, rules lawyers.
Yeah. July 19th, don't get offended, but it's Stick Out Your Tongue Day.
Why? Oh, because it's offensive to stick your tongue out at people?
Yeah. Now, Matt, I know you've always celebrated this this holiday in a somewhat less appropriate way, but it's July 23rd is Gorgeous Grandma Day. Mm-hmm. So I never was quite in agreement with the way you chose to celebrate that one, but I never wanted to say anything. I didn't want it to, get in the way of our friendship, but it was a little weird.
Right. I have no idea what you said.
Great. July 23rd, it's also National Day of the Cowboy. Yeehaw. Let's move on. Wednesday, July 27th, this one's a little strange. Take your pants for a walk day.
Like the ones you're wearing or just like all your pants?
That's what I don't know. So this could mean just go for a walk and wear pants while doing it.
Right.
Or like you said, just gather up all your pants, hook a leash to them, I guess,
Right.
and just drag them behind you.
You could carry them.
Well, if you take your dog for a walk, you don't just carry your dog. If you're taking something for a walk, unless it's a baby in a stroller, okay, fine. Baby in a stroller is different. Maybe you put your pants in a stroller, either an umbrella stroller or like a more fancy stroller.
Or a wagon.
Yeah. A red wagon. Yeah. It could be any color, I guess, but the most famous. Or there's the kind that's just like at the wood railings. Well, the red wagons have those sometimes. Anywho, we got 3 more to go. Then we're done with the July holiday list. It's been quite a ride.
I'm excited.
But we want to make sure everyone can do as much celebrating as... Anyway, we want to make sure everyone can do as much celebrating as possible in July. So that's why we selflessly and graciously provide everyone with this list of holidays each month. So anyway, National Friday, July 29th, National Talk in an Elevator Day. So make sure you find yourself using an elevator and make sure it's with at least one other person and ensue conversation.
That's not necessary. It doesn't say have a conversation in an elevator day.
Right.
It just says talk in an elevator day.
You're absolutely right. You could just talk to yourself. You can be all alone.
Yeah.
Just don't be in the you could get it out of the way by just stepping in the elevator, saying one word, and then you can spend the rest of the elevator ride in silence.
Right.
Because you technically would have fulfilled the criteria of the holiday by saying some one word inside the elevator. You could just step in the elevator, go hello, and then step out of the elevator before it even goes up any floors, down any floors.
Or like what a lot of people do sometimes is they'll step in an elevator and be like, "Oh, could you press 3 for me, please?"
Oh, that counts.
And there you go.
And then I always respond with no, so then I would be fulfilling the needs of that holiday. Yeah.
You're like, push it your damn self.
Yeah, because these are damned people. I'm saying this to all the time. They're the ones who are going to ask for you to push the button for them.
Yeah,
the damn.
Mm-hmm. The worst.
All right. Also, now you could do these in tandem as well. National Get Gnarly Day, Matt.
Ooh,
let's get gnarly. Now, do you look at the term gnarly as a positive? I was going to say, do you look at it as a positive a thing or a negative thing? Because you could be like, oh, it was super gnarly. Like I think of it could be good or bad.
When I think gnarly, I just immediately think of like a really gory, like gashy wound.
Okay,
like
so you think
is
of
very
the negative
gnarly
term.
Yeah, I typically lean towards the negative in any situation.
Gotcha. On that particular spectrum, you go toward the negative.
Yeah.
See, I go to like surfer bro, gnarly bro, hang 10.
Caught some gnarly waves. But gnarly waves are also like nasty waves. They're tough, crazy, nasty waves that you're gonna thrash them gnarly waves. They're the tough ones. Sean's writing something down.
Yeah, you don't have to say that every time I write something down.
It was a gap in the conversation.
Well, try to come up with something else.
There's a lot of things I don't have to do. There's a lot of things I don't have to do, Sean, and I do them anyways because I choose to.
But if your skill level of filling in dead air is only to describe the cause of the dead air, I got to say it's not very impressive.
It's called breaking the fourth wall. We're bringing our listeners into the experience of what's happening with us right now, and then they feel like they're part of this experience with us.
I thought that's what bad news was.
I mean, that's a part of it.
Oh.
You know, like when I constantly talk about and refer to every fucking technical issue we have in every fucking episode that we record.
Yeah, let's try to refrain. I mean, no one wants to hear that. It gets old.
I'm sure they're used to it by this point.
Yeah, but doesn't mean it's.
Anyways,
I mean, is that like Stockholm syndrome where you start to like fall in love with your captor?
Yeah, there's that, and then there was something else that's a similar thing, but I can't think of it. They talk about it in Back to the Future.
Yeah, let's end on a dud here. Sunday, July 31st. It's Uncommon Musical Instrument Day. So get out your lute and your didgeridoo is probably considered an uncommon instrument. Your skin flutes.
Spoons. Get them spoons out and start clapping those things
Spoons.
around.
Yep.
Yeah.
The what are those belly dancers or whoever will have those little metal things on their
I can't
fingers?
remember what they're called.
They look like little symbols almost.
I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, bust those out. Would you consider
Other
something
examples?
Would you consider something like a wind chime to be an instrument?
I don't know, because it depends on if you consider an instrument to be something that is actually played by a person.
Sure.
So
there
a wind
are
chime
chimes.
it's a musical. Yeah, I guess it's an instrument in the sense that it is like a thing, like an instrument, like you can call a beaker an instrument, or like a
well, right, but this
like
is
something like that.
Well, this is Uncommon Musical Instruments Day, so let's not try to include like microscopes.
I mean,
and
it
stuff
is
like that.
I guess it is. Well, no, I'm just saying as an example of it's an instrument in the fact that it's a thing like that. It's a it plays music. So technically, it is a musical instrument. It's just not played by a person. So I guess in that sense, you can say it is a musical instrument.
Would you say it's an instrument though? Because instruments, I think, are typically, if we're not talking about specifically musical instruments, aren't instruments used to like measure things?
Well, let's look up the different definition of instruments, because there's going to be obviously a few different definitions of it.
We're already over an hour and a half into this.
Late.
So no, it isn't. Okay, bye. See you next Tuesday.
That's how we're ending it. That's how we're ending it.
We're done with the list. Bye.
You asked me a question about, do I consider chimes to be a musical instrument, and then didn't want to hear my explanation of it. You just said, all right, we're just going to end it. Bye.
No, you weren't going to give your explanation of it. You were going to look up the internet definition of it.
I was going to look up the definition of the word instrument, because there's obviously several different definitions of that word.
Yeah. Well, I don't care anymore. So,
well, I hope our listeners don't care either then. Bye.
We are on TikTok now, which makes us even cooler. HS Famous. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HS Famous Pod. Email us directly at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. We have Patreon too, but you'll never go there. Altogether, our hearts beat as one.